Vivy is yet another one of those time reset anime where the point of the plot is to undo the plot. Something really bad happens in the future and a program is sent back in time in order to prevent it. Therefore it's the down-to-death power fantasy offered by this concept. Are there negative consequences in your life? Keep going back in time until there are none. Despite the show trying to mitigate that by making it seem like the time travel part can only happen once, or that the characters are not allowed to fix every negative thing so the future won't become too different, in the long run it's all bullshit because they clearly go back more than once, and it doesn't matter what changes they make to history, since the event they were trying to prevent wasn't caused by the stuff they were preventing. Despite that, the anime managed to stand out for many at the time of its release. Artwork and music were above average, and every story was dealing with interesting sci-fi concepts regarding artificial intelligence. Every story was also very tragic, as many bad things were happening to the people involved with the events that were supposed to be leading to the tragedy in the future. This mix of elements is especially effective on easily impressionable people who will see the whole thing as very emotional and won't think about the nonsense in the plot. As for anyone who cares more about good writing than how much something made you cry with its overbearing theatrics, the show will fail him at everything besides its production values. It's very hard to care about any of the characters since they change in every arc. You are given no time to like them before they get killed a few minutes after their introduction. The first episode, for example, begins with a massacre of people that mean nothing to you. They are background nobodies, and yet the plot assumes that you will care to see them getting saved via time resets, even though they mean nothing to you. The science fiction concepts are not explored. They are mentioned, they get a superficial info dump about what they are all about, and are then thrown away. Every arc is very short, isolated from the other arcs, and with its own themes, therefore nothing gets any significant exploration. The overall plot is not as elaborate as the show wants you to think it is. Despite showing you how the timeline is altered with every change, the arcs are disconnected by very long time skips where stuff changes out of screen and in whatever way it suits the plot. There is no actual continuity since you never feel like whatever the heroine does in one mission carries over to the next one. The main heroine is not some deep or memorable character. The show is just overselling her by being drawn as a hot, sexy waifu with boobies that are half exposed most of the time. Other than that, she's an emotionless robot that changes several times because of amnesia, time resets, or because she's dragged around in missions by the teddy bear robot and not because she has any control over her actions. Essentially, she's a plot device, following a computer program, and she doesn't develop naturally like a human being. In fact, she doesn't develop as much as she gets rewritten, since she gets multiple amnesias that wipe her so-called progression. The finale is basically rendering pointless the entire series, since the changes in the timeline didn't stop the disaster in the future. Also, the main antagonist was so uninterested in achieving her plan, she just lets the heroine to do whatever she likes. Also, there never were any stakes because the characters can go back in time again in case they fail. It's a time travel story, what did you expect? Negative consequences that can't be undone? Thus, as a whole, Vivy is a show about forgettable characters, superficial themes, no actual plot progression or actual character development, and a finale that essentially tells you there never was any pressure of time or danger of losing. It's another one of those throwaway shows that you might like the first time you watch it because the artwork looks nice, it has a hot sexy waifu, and sad things are happening all the time. But there is no replay value once you realize how lazily written and superficial it is as a whole, and won't stand the test of time for most.